forgiveness, family and faith. Real life challenges covered by grace. Raw truth, real answers, healing within. Come to the table, let the healing begin. Let the truth be told. Let's invert perspective. Wisdom from above. Life, pain, family, and love. It's time. It's time.
Marriage isn't always perfect, but healing is always possible. Welcome to Let the Healing Begin with your hosts, Apostles Lee and Kimberly Thomas. This podcast tackles real life issues with raw truth and a powerful his and her perspective. We talk marriage, we talk sex, we talk loss, love, and relational challenges couples don't always say out loud. If you're ready for honest dialogue, faith filled insight, and a practical wisdom that restores connection and strengthens your marriage, you're in the right place. Come, journey with us as we let the healing begin.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to Let the Healing Begin. We are your hosts,
Lee?
and Kimberly Thomas, and we are so glad that you have joined us tonight for Let the Healing Begin. We want to start off with a disclaimer tonight. We do not believe that we have mastered this thing called marriage, nor do we have um, a patent on marriage. We know that we have a marriage, we have experience, we have years of experience, and we have a mandate from God to come before you and allow you to come in and share a little bit of our journey as you journey in this thing called marriage throughout your life. So we are so glad that you have joined us here tonight. We talk about real life issues. We talk about sex. We talk about marriage. We talk about love, loss, and a lot of relational issues that most couples do not like to talk about. So, tonight, as we journey, we are going to talk about the fact that the journey to wholeness is not. It is not an automatic journey, and nor is it a quick fix. The journey to wholeness is not quick fix. So tonight, as we jump in, we're going to talk about this particular subject because we know that there are many couples, many marriages that are struggling in this area because they are wanting to do the right thing. They are wanting to keep their vows holy and sacred, and they are trying to keep it all together. But there has been some type of brokenness, some type of broken communication, maybe some emotional wounds that have not yet been healed. So tonight we're going to talk about the fact that this journey to wholeness, it's not a quick fix. It's going to take time, and time, as they say, heals all wounds. That not that the sting will not go away, but it will lessen. Things will get better over time if you allow it.
And you just said time heals all wounds, but the only way that that can happen is if you allow it, you know. And the thing of it is, sometimes we don't even realize that we don't allow it because we can't let yesterday go. You know, we can live in the moment, but we allow yesterday to stay there, and you can't grow in the past. You can't do that because the past is going to keep you right there in the past. So that means you're not moving forward. You're not going backwards. You're just staying stagnated in this one area of your life. And in doing so, he or she is hindering the relationship. So tonight, we're going to talk about let the healing begin from past and let's get into the present so we can go to the future.
Yes. And that's a great place for us to start tonight, the past. Because like you said, many couples He or she cannot allow the past to just be the past. And that is the biggest hindrance in a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages, because there are triggers
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
have not been healed. There are things, there are these wounds, these emotional wounds, these little tender spots that have not been healed from the past. And so with that, you have individuals that all it takes is one little glimpse of something that what used to be or what was, it appears. But a lot of times the enemy will bring things before our eyes and try to make things to appear as if they are real. But the one thing that we have to realize is that that is the enemy's job, because the enemy does not like unity. He does not want to see togetherness. He does not like marriage. He would rather we be apart. So what we have to do is we have to learn how to come together. The first thing that most no. The first thing that all married couples need to do is you need to learn to pray together. Because when you start praying together, it leaves less room for the enemy to come in and wreak havoc in your life.
And praying together, I like that. But let's just step back just a moment when you said the enemy comes in. First and foremost, the enemy is not the enemy that you think.
Right.
The inner me,
Inner me.
the
Yes.
inner me is what comes in because we haven't allowed ourselves to be whole or free. You know, we can only live, like I said from the beginning, in the moment, you know, and if that's going to be the case, let's deal with the moments. Let's deal with the moment where we're doing good and the moment that we won't release. You know, I love you and it's supposed to be 100%, but I can only give you 76 for the simple fact that, you know what, I'm not here, so therefore I can't trust you because I can't trust myself. I mean, let's just be real with it.
It's real.
Because it's something on the inside of me, you know, like in some relationships, my mom went through this or my dad went through this, and I've seen this before. I'm not married to your mama and I'm not married to your daddy. I'm married to you. And it had to be something that was right about us in order to get a relationship to where you're my wife and I'm your husband situation. We got to understand that things are changing and evolving every day, and we must change and evolve with it. You know, I used to listen to people tell me, you know, that's the type of relationship that you have when I was with other people. Y'all argue all the time. That's just y'all relationship. That's not a relationship. That's a headache. If we love one another, then we should be able to talk to one another, but we can agree to disagree agreeably, but then learn to listen and not have paper bag feelings. Hear my side, I'm gonna hear your side, and let's work through it together. Because you know, yesterday I can't get yes, if you had to listen to about my past, we would have never been together.
Never. Never.
Period.
Never.
You know, because I had fun. I really, really did. But you know, they had an old saying about if you got with someone that you love and you want to be with, oh, you henpecked. And I laughed. I said, no, I ain't henpecked. I just got picked by the right hand. And that was my joke to them because, you know, you talking and evidently what you see I have is good that you desire. Here's the thing. When you get with somebody that you love, I'm speaking for men now, that you love, everything else takes a back seat because this is where I want to be. But then at the same time, you as a different individual got to be in that same mindset
Right.
so we can actually be moved or catapulted to the next level because we got to let yesterday go so we can heal, create memories, dig in roots, and go forward.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, like you said, I'm not married to your family.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, what happens is we allow our family's voices to be louder in our relationships than they ought to be. Actually, they should be silent because they should not have any bearing or any influence on your marriage, on your relationship, because of the simple fact that, oh, well, my sister or my brother, they went through this and I saw this happen in their relationship. So I'm not going to allow you to have, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. Or, I witnessed XYZ go through this and I'm not going through this with you. But what we have to realize is that that is them and their stuff. That's them and their marriage. And what one person will allow, another person won't. And so you have to understand that we are different. We are different individuals. And there are things that our family members may have put up with that we will not tolerate. There are things that we may put up with that our family members would never tolerate. So, what you have to understand is that when you make a vow to your spouse, man or woman, the Bible tells us that we leave our mother and our father and we cleave to the one that we have made that vow with.
Yes.
And so that means that those voices no longer have influence in our life as far as our marriage is concerned. You cannot come and tell me how to be married to my husband. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me what my marriage should look like based on your broken marriages a lot of times, or your failed marriage a lot of times, or your numerous divorces a lot of times. And that's what happens because many people, they will come and they want to basically interject what happened in their life into your life and into your marriage, especially when they see that you're happy, and then they take a glimpse of something that their spouse or ex-spouse may have done to them, and they still carry those open wounds from those open relationships and marriages, and they see a glimpse of it, something that is not even what they think that it may be,
So
and
what
they
you're
bring it
saying,
into your relationship.
so it is what it is. So we're gonna work with what we have.
Yeah.
Your relationship is not mine. I married you, you married me. So this is ours, and we're building on that foundation right there. And that's the key. A lot of times in marriages, people don't get counseling because they don't want those old wounds to be opened up. And then here's the thing, even in counseling, people don't always tell the truth. They tell a portion of the truth. So how can you yet be healed if you didn't tell this part? Because you'll tell enough to where it sounds really good and you've opened up and you've released all this right here, but you're keeping that little nugget over there in the corner, and then all of a sudden, years down the line, this appears. That you didn't say that. And then I wouldn't have got with you, I wouldn't have did, because if you'd have said that, it would have been over from the beginning. No, it wouldn't. You love that person.
Right.
The thing of it is, it's just hurt because you know what? You didn't have to lie. You're over 12 and you're past 21. Tell the truth. Tell me what your issue is. Now, when my wife and I got together, it was conversation. We read a lot together. I did most of the listening because I don't like just holding a book that long. But I like to know what the book says. So we was good on that point. So that was another common ground for us. We spoke about the things that we wanted together and our future. And we created a plan. Trust me, it didn't always go the way we planned it.
No.
Period. Because, there are people who are assigned to you to bring division in your relationship if you allow it.
Yes.
And the thing of it is, it's always something that they can bring that's going to sound so good and juicy that this just has to be it. And it isn't, because you know what? Sometimes people can see what your future going to be. And you know what? That's supposed to be me. No, it's not. Not married to her, not you. So therefore, they can the enemy, talking about the other one now, is so cunning. He's subtle. Then suddenly here it is, because he begins to drop nuggets in your ears, little by little by little by little. I mean, it's so minute, so you don't even see it. It's just like whenever you move in your house. I'm gonna put this down right here. And all of a sudden, a year later, it's still there. But look at all the stuff that's accumulated on the top of it because I didn't keep it clean. I kept piling stuff on top of it.
Wow. And now that's a whole mouthful. And the thing is, you have to you really do have to be open to receive it.
That's
And the
exactly
thing,
right.
what really is intriguing about what you said, because as you were talking, it made me think about so many times, as you said, people will see you and they'll see that you're happy. They'll see that, you've gone on, you moved on. And the first thing that they want to do is they want to bring up your past. Oh, oh, we get this a lot when we're together. People walk up, hey, how you doing? And they'll say, oh, well, you and so still together. Y'all married, right? How many kids did y'all have together? And I'm standing there smiling because his response is, I was never married to them. This is my wife. This is the only person that I've ever been married to. And so, a lot of times people do it trying to be funny.
Yes.
And I laugh with you because you're a clown and I've been stopped going to the circus. But the thing about it is, people do things to try to get a rise out of others. We have had individuals that have people from my past, and they have seen us, and we still, I'm cordial with anybody that I've ever dated. Hey, how you doing? We still smile, we laugh, whatever. And it's no secrets. And see, that's the problem because we carry too many secrets. And so if I had an issue with where I stood in my position in his life, when someone comes up and they just blurt out all these things, oh, you still married to this person, you still married to that person, or oh, I saw so and so, I thought y'all was still together, blah blah blah. When we got away from that person, it would be a whole lot of drama if I didn't know who I was, if I didn't know my place in my marriage. And so many people don't. So many people take things like that to heart. It's funny because we were actually in Sam's about 2 weeks ago, and there was this female in there. Both of us know her, but she was connected to a former relationship that he was in. And so I spoke, and she act like she was like kind of oblivious to me even saying hello. So I'm like, hey, and she just like and went on her way. But then, as soon as I've been in the corner and he goes another corner, she has a whole full-fledged conversation. And so I'm like laughing because I said, people, you don't have to do that. When you see somebody that you know from somebody's past, just speak, just talk. It makes you look very immature, first of all, because that's the past. We're right now in 2026. We're not back in the 80s or whatever. We're not back there. We're in 2026. And as Lee stated, if you're over 12 and 21 and 21, listen, be grown. Be grown. And that's what causes problems in people's marriages, especially for people that are insecure.
That's the key, right?
When you're insecure and you don't know your place in your marriage, that you will allow that little silliness to cause you to walk around not speaking to your husband or your wife for days on end,
That's
calling
crazy.
up stuff that is not even in existence. You'll be saying, oh, well, you must still be dealing with them because they wouldn't even speak when I was around. Baby, I don't care. I don't care. And that's how you have to be. You have to be to the point to where you are so secure in who you are, first of all, as an individual, and where you stand in your marriage. When you know that you and your spouse have taken vows, your vows are sacred to you. You have not stepped outside of your vows. He has not stepped outside of his vows. And whatever happened in the past was the past, because we all have one.
Exactly. the thing of it is, you have to be, the whole key is being grown. Say what you gotta say. And here's the key. If you say exactly what you have to say, be true, but to thyself be true. So don't lie to yourself. Just tell the whole truth. Get it off your chest. Pressure busts the pipe.
Yes.
And it'll have your head thumping if you holding all that on the inside. Don't hold nothing in reserve, waiting for the shoe to drop, because I may say something that reminds you of what it used to be somewhere else.
Right.
Understand that people not own none of that no more. You know, life is changing every day. It used to be the kids buried their parents, now the parents burying the kids and the grandkids. You shouldn't have time to be worried about stupidity. We together. Come on now.
Right.
Let's be together. Let's be 100. Let's show the world that it's you and I. We that power couple. And it's not about them. It's about what we have and what God has allowed us to create together.
Exactly.
Stop. One, if you married, why are you hanging out with an unmarried woman or man? Two, we shouldn't have nothing to talk about. We've been friends forever and a day. Okay, that's cool. But I have a wife. You have a husband. Be around people that has the same thing you have, a family, something going on. We have some of the same issues, but our issue is what you allow it to be. But I can talk to you. Yeah, my brother, it was a little rough on me this week. Okay, you can understand that because that's what life is. So life be life. But then why would I talk to a man that's free? And all I'm like, oh no, bro, I ain't trying, man. I wouldn't have none of that. And you right.
Because you don't have
Because you don't have it.
and that is so true. And that is uh one of them one of the major issues with young couples that we have seen is that they do not understand marriage, and a lot of it is because they just jumped into a marriage, no counseling, no nothing. Hey, let's just get married. The Beyonce say you better put a ring on it, so they're like, okay, you better put a ring on it, let's get married. No foundation, and your foundation in your marriage should be Christ. That's the first thing. You should go to Christ because marriage is ordained by him. So that's the first step, is making sure that you have a foundation in him. And then you have to understand that your friends that are unmarried, those should not be your counselors. Those should not be your confidants. Those should not be the people that when you and your wife have an issue that you're running to them for advice. What advice can somebody who has never had a marriage give you? We have a common friend that always makes this so simple for us. If you ask somebody how to get to Monticello, if they have never been, they can't tell you how to go there. Exactly. So the thing is, a person that has never been married, a person that has no wife, what can they tell a person that has a wife? A person that has no husband, never had a husband. What can they tell a person that has a husband? That is not the person that you need to be looking to for your advice, even if they are a family member. If they are a family member and they don't fall in that same category with a husband or a wife, that is not the person that you should be seeking your counsel from, because of the simple fact. And then too, when you have individuals that have had marriages but their marriages were a total wreck, you would have to be careful about even receiving advice from those individuals, because a lot of people have a lot of emotional wounds that have not been healed. They have not been delivered from things. So the thing that they will do is they will pour out all their venom on you.
That's good.
And begin to contaminate you. Things that you may have never even thought of or even imagined happening in your marriage. They will say it so convincingly until when you walk away from that conversation, you are just like, whoa, yeah, he doing that. Yeah, she doing that. Oh, I know they are, because so and so said that this is what that looked like, and I've been seeing that, and I know that that's no.
But you know
no.
what?
No, don't do that.
In the midst of all that, you got to realize first and foremost. Hurt people, hurt other people.
Yeah.
I don't have it, so I don't want you to have it either. You know, it didn't work for me, and we just alike. We used to be, so we need to do this. But it's amazing how, in the event that you allow that to happen, and they find somebody else, they drop you like a bad habit,
A real one.
a real bad habit. You know, so sit down and talk to each other,
Yes.
and then before you even do that, take a self inventory of your own self. You know, because we have an uncanny ability of talking about fix her, fix him. Lord, please fix me.
Me.
See, when I get fixed, then everything else can fall in line like it's
Yes.
supposed to.
Yes.
If the head is in order, everything else should fall in place. But if I'm not in order and I'm not fixed, how I expect you to be fixed? Because you know what? I see you, you see me. I know you and you know me. The world don't know what we know about each other. So on the outside, it looks so good. But yeah, you did this, that, and the third. But right here, it looks wonderful.
Yes.
But it's not wonderful because you lying to yourself. See, the thing about it, when people see you, they're like, oh, it's all good, it's all great. But it ain't good. Because one, you're lying to yourself. Stop lying. Just tell the whole truth. Look, I don't like this. I really don't like that.
Yes.
I don't want this.
Yes.
And I can't stand that.
Yes.
You know, and then here's the thing, y'all, that we've been holding it in all these years. So what? Let it go. You cannot heal holding on to what you really don't like. Well, you've been doing it this way all these years, so I might as well. No, you might as well have a headache all this time because here's the thing, you're not being true to them. You're not being true to yourself, so you're being unfair. So how can they stop doing what you don't desire if they don't know? They're going to get mad when you tell them the truth because you're allowed to go on so long, but just tell the truth. Exactly. Now it's out there, it's in the open. Look here. Now the scab has been tore off, but some air hitting it now, and it begins to heal. Time heals all wounds, but you got to want that wound to be healed. And once you start with your own inner self, then you can move further, you know, because some people even desire to be with someone else and stuff like that, you know, but we trying to hold on to what we got. What you got? You're living a lie. Don't lie to you. Exactly. Tell yourself the whole truth. See, we as a people of color that I've been studying, we will hold on to stuff because you know what? I don't want to lose all of what I had, and we built this and we built that. But then you in misery with it. God don't want you that way. You know what you desire. Talk to the Lord about it. Lord, fix me so I can move on further. And then before you go blurting out stuff to people, take the time to think. So you don't just come so vulgar, so harsh. But at the same time, tell the whole truth.
Right. The whole truth, not your truth, because that's a lot that we do. We'll tell our truth. And a lot of time our truth is just that, you're going to tell that little part, that part that is going to make the person feel good, or that part that's not going to upset them and all of that. But the thing that we have to realize is that when we don't tell the whole truth, we're not only a disservice to ourselves, but also to the person that we are in covenant.
That's it,
with,
right? That's it.
that we
That's
are
it
in
right
covenant
there.
with, because when we become married, we're in covenant. And so as two become one and we're in covenant, that means that I vow to tell the truth. And sometimes truth is going to hurt because truth is offensive. A lot of times you don't want to tell the truth because you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, or that's something that they really like, and maybe I'll just keep going along to get along. But when you go along to get along, you're miserable and they're happy. So you have to understand that there comes a point in time in your life when you just have to say, look, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. There are a lot of things that I like to do that Lee may not like to do, but he'll go and do them because I like to do them. But then there comes a point in time when I say, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. And be like, no, I don't want to do that. So I have to first of all accept what he is saying because he is an individual. He has his own individual feelings. He knows what he does and does not want to do. So I can't be well, you got to know. No, he does not. And it's vice versa. There are things that he wants to do, and I may not want to do that. He's like, hey, well, I'm going here, this, that place, or whatever. Let's do this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And you have to be mature enough in your marriage to be able to say that and not be in your feelings when the other person say, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't like that. Because the thing is, as he stated, we'll let things go on for a long time and not say anything, and then one day is just the day. It's just that day. And here they come and they say something or they do something, and you let all the cats out the bag.
Not all the cats.
Every single one of them, the alley cat, the black cat, the green cat, you let them all out the bag. And they're looking at you like, what in the world just happened? Because we've been doing this like this for years and you never said anything. What is wrong with you today? And then you're like, well, I never liked it from day one. I just put up with it and da 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 da.
That's that part about being fair.
Exactly.
See, that's not being fair to them because it was all good. So how did this all of a sudden come up like this? Now I'm hurt and I'm feeling bad because now I'm deep in my feelings because if you didn't like this, what else didn't you like? So you really just went along to you went along to get along to keep me quiet?
Yes.
No. After all that get over with, think about the maturity level now. Because you know what? When your mate tell you I don't want to go, you get in your feelings because I want you to go because I asked you.
Right.
But you know what? Get out your feelings and be grown. Go ahead on. Because while you going over there, I'm going over here. Not just because you didn't. No, I'm going where I want to go.
Right.
Simple as that.
And it's not a tit for tat
thing. And it's not about that.
And that's what we have to understand. We don't play tit for tat just because you went over here. So you went over there and I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this. It's not a tit for tat thing. The thing that we have to understand that no has an anointing on it. And I am free to say no and not feel any kind of way.
Exactly.
I don't have to feel no pressure for saying no. We can't be yes, yes, yes all the time because we're not always yes. There are some times that no is just no.
But you know
we
what?
Stand on that.
No is an answer too.
Exactly. And it is anointed when I don't want to do it.
And it's just that simple. And the thing of it is, sometimes we hide behind these masks, thinking, oh, I don't want her mad. And if I don't go or be with that, she gonna be mad, or he gonna get upset because okay. If you all like that right there, you just gonna have to be upset.
Got some issues.
You got some bad issues because you know what? It's not that I'm not wanting to go somewhere else. Sometimes I really just want to be home, lay on my couch, watch the TV, and do nothing.
No.
And I'm grown enough to do just that. Nothing. Because I choose to.
Yes.
Learn to create memories together and do things together. You have to reach back and remember the times whenever you first got together and all the little things you did. Because here it is. Sometimes you have to remember, just do it. Just because, I was thinking about you, I saw that, and I just did it. I don't let me have to ask you. Just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Exactly.
And then when you do it, don't look for nothing in return. Just do it. I know that they like that, and you know what, I'm gonna do that, and keep it moving. And then here's the thing, guys. Don't look for this great accolade because you did what your heart said do. It's in your heart. Look at it. Because she may not say nothing today, may not say that next week, and then all of a sudden you see it, and then you think, wow, she didn't even say that, but you like that? Yeah, I did. I just, I'm not a robot. You did it. I love you for it. And if we together, it's cool.
Right.
Because it'll come up because one thing about it, she does the same thing for you. We're not perfect, neither one of us. We live in an imperfect world, but we're perfect together.
Yeah.
We're better together.
Yes. And one of the things that we have to also think about is that we were raised different.
That's a
We
good
were
one. Work with
raised
that.
different. And so, as Lee said, you may give me a gift and I may say thank you. And that's the only reaction you get. You don't get the, you don't get all of that. You get a simple thank you. And I go on. You may catch me admiring the gift later on, and I'm in the mirror and I'm like, oh, yeah, child, yeah, he did that. But that's me. You may not get that reaction. Sometimes we get in our feelings because we were raised a certain way and we expect others to act like we want
Want
them
them to
to
act
act.
right.
So, it's like I remember being transparent. I remember Lee got me something and it was beautiful and I appreciated it. And I'm like, thank you. And he asked me about it. And I was like, yeah, I like it. Thank you. And he asked me again about it. And I said, thank you. And so I think it was the third time that he asked me about it. I said, well, what do you want me to do? Cartwheels? I'm not going to do cartwheels. I'm not going to do that. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But the thing is, when we expect a person to react the way that we think that they should react and they don't, we get in our feelings sometimes. And that sometimes cause emotional wounds because, oh, well, I won't do that no more. I won't buy them anything. I won't do this and I won't do that. It's not that they don't appreciate it. The appreciation or their act of appreciation is not what you think that it should be. And so we have to get out of that. And then I want to touch on something else that you said about when we're going places. The fact that I may not always want to go with you, or you may not always want to go with me. But we also have to look at the fact that there are some people, every time their partner darts the door, you want to be on the scene. You got to be there. They can't move without you. No, we're going together. Yeah, well, I got to go too. And it's always you got to be there. That's the person that is not secure. And you need to check that. You need to check that within yourself because I don't have to go everywhere that he goes. Even though people think I do, I don't. Even though people think he go everywhere that I go, he doesn't. The thing is, you see us a lot together because we love to be together. This is my best friend. And so I like spending time with my best friend. Our hobbies are very much linked together. He likes drag racing. I like drag racing. And I that's just me. I'm a nitrous girl. I'm looking for a Chevelle too. If anybody know anybody that got a body or anything that they want to get rid of, I gotta just throw that out there. Okay, so back on topic. So I love it. I love it. And you know what? The thing is, and I'm gonna touch on that too, because people that know me and they know me from my past, they may know the reason why I like Chevelle's. But the thing is, he's not insecure in the reason that I like Chevelle's. He's not insecure in that because of the simple fact that one of my ex-boyfriends had a Chevelle. And that's what introduced me really to the racing scene. Because, hey, I was one of those ones. We would we would skip. We would skip school. And we would ride and we would race down the road just like crazy people. First of all, you supposed to be in school. Second of all, you flying down this road, anything can happen, and what's gonna be the outcome, what's gonna be said or whatever. These are the things. But this is the thing. We can talk about it, have talked about it, have had conversations about it. He's not insecure. I'm not to the point to where I'm just like so all out the way with it. And so these are the things that you have to understand. When you are mature, you can have those type type of conversations. You can have that. And so it's the same thing. There are things that he desired when he was back in the day with whoever. And I'm good with it because of the simple fact that we are together.
Correct. And that's the whole
We
thing.
are married. We are linked. We have a covenant. And so the past is just that. It's the past. And he has his desires. I have my desires. He has his reasons for the things that he desired. I have my reason for the things that I desire. And there's nothing that is wrong with that when you are mature enough to have a conversation and to ask. Because if I just come out and say, well, this is what I want. I want this and I like racing. Okay, so why you like racing? You a girl? You weren't your people not into racing? You was raised by your grandma. Your grandma wasn't into racing. You got two sisters, they not into racing. Your brother was not there, even though he was into racing. You didn't even know that about him, that he was into racing. So why you into racing? So if I lie and just say, oh, I just like it, and then something comes out later about why I like it, then he's like, well, why you just couldn't tell me that?
That's the whole key right there. See, when you're a man or a woman, and listen to me carefully, because God only made two now. He didn't
Two.
make a lady, he didn't make a dude. He made man and he made woman for man.
Yes.
When a man or a woman is truly who they say they are, I can say what's on my mind. I can say what I feel. I can tell you how I feel. I can tell you what was what because we're together. Me, I don't have those insecurity problems. That ain't never been me. My thing is this here. If you happy, I'm happy for you. I want to make you happy. If that's what you want, I got you. Because here's the thing, y'all. We had somebody tell us one time, I said, I'm looking for a Shabelle. Her friend say, girl, do he know that back in the day? She said, yeah. And then she said, oh my God, he a real man. I'm a man all day. It's not about that. Here's the key. The car was a memory. But if I build the one that she wants, like she wanted, that's our memory now. What we did. Don't worry about the past. You know how some people get together and then you got pictures and all that, and they want to tear up your pictures and stuff. I've been with people that got my pictures and cut them all up and then put them back in a little bag and then throw the little bag over there. Here your picture. I'm like, what? What is this?
Thank you very much.
Yep. You done cut up my stuff?
Still live and in color. Thank you.
Why? Why would you do that? Oh, so you got feelings. No, I ain't got no feelings, but you know what? That was my past. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I want to remember what I did, I enjoyed that, but I'm with you, crazy. But you know what? I ain't with you no more. Because if you do something that's stupid and that minute, what else would you do? Because that ain't going to get no better, y'all. That's going to get worse.
Yes.
That's why when I made that comment, no. Say what you want to say out your mouth. But I only been married one time, and I've always anybody that know me can tell you, I said I'm not gonna get married till I find the one that's for me. We gonna be 100 with each other. We ain't gonna have no secrets. Lying, I don't even do none of that. I have, but I don't because you know what? I ain't good at it. It is what it is. So I ain't gonna worry about what it ain't.
Exactly.
And if you can't deal with that, then please don't be with me. Because I tell on myself. I even laugh at myself because it is what it is. We do us
Exactly.
and be happy.
Exactly.
Be happy. Don't you understand that you weren't born together? You got a past. He got a past. We got a past.
Yes.
But here's the key. We got a present working on our future.
Yes. Now that's
And if we
good.
get into it and make it happen, we can look over our life and look where God has brought us from. Because He has brought us from a mighty, mighty long way. We're too old to be getting stressed when we could be blessed.
And when you said tell on yourself, the thing thing is, you have to understand that when you become one,
Hmm. When
when you become one, you can't help it because you want to make sure that there is nothing, no thing that can drive a wedge
that's it.
in between what you have. And the scripture tells us what God has joined together.
Who?
Let no man
Who
put
joined it?
asunder. God. What he has
Oh,
joined
okay.
together.
Okay.
No man should put asunder. Let yourself not be that man, because sometimes we are the
The man,
man.
yeah, that put our own self
We're the
under.
man that tear things apart because we lie, we're insecure, we haven't matured yet, we don't even know how to be honest with our own selves. And so you have to understand that. I remember years ago, when I was working at my same job in a different position. And it was funny because there was an individual that worked under my leadership in another part of the state. And I would get phone calls. And instead of the phone calls being about business, when I pick up the phone, the first thing that they would be saying, they would be singing, "You are so beautiful." And it would be hilarious to me. I would laugh. I would put my phone on speakerphone and call my other co-workers over, like, "Hey, come over here and listen to this." And so it just became a reoccurring thing almost daily. Every time he would call, before he talked about anything dealing with business, he would just start off like this: "Never seen this person a day in my life. The only thing that he has ever seen concerning me is a staff picture." And so I would laugh and joke. We would make a big joke about it in the office. And then one day, no phone call. Okay. 2, 3 days passed, no phone call. And so then the phone call came. Once again, "Hey," singing, "You are so beautiful to me." And then he said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the city. I'm coming for a meeting, whatever, whatever. Hey, how about let's go to lunch?" And I'm like, "No, I'm married." He's like, "So am I." And I'm like, "No, no, I can't go to lunch with you," or what have you. And so I came home that day, and I came home, and the first thing that I said is, "There's a guy that's been calling my office, and he's been singing to me, and I like it." And I was bawling. I mean, I'm just like hard down crying. I'm hard down crying. And I told him, I said, "He was singing 'You Are So Beautiful' to me, and I liked it." And so he starts laughing at me. He was like, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I liked it." He said, "Okay, so you are beautiful." And so this is the stuff that you have to think about, because of the simple fact that if things like that, so simple, it was simple to him, it was nothing to him. But me being his wife, it was everything to me, to be honest about it, to say, "Hey, this person called me." And even though I have no type of dealing with this person, they asked me to go to lunch with them. I told them no. They called me almost every day. They sang to me. But the day that they didn't call me, I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get a phone call. So what happened?" And that's the moment that I realized what was taking place. And I said, "No, I need to say this is what happened." And I liked it. I got a kick out of it. Even though I called my friends over and I was like, "Hey, y'all come listen to him." We would laugh about it and stuff like that. But the thing is, though, the seed was planted.
Ah, catch
The
me.
seed was planted. And so when the seed was planted, I needed to pluck that seed up, because there was nothing wrong with us in our marriage, but the enemy is so cunning, because they he knows. He
See,
knows. And so you have to understand, you have to be honest about where you are in your marriage and in situations. If you know that you have some type of secret that could eventually cause a division, cause dissension, cause any type of crack. You never give the enemy a foothold in your marriage to cause division. And that's the thing that we have to understand, because we're the ones that give the foothold.
There you go. See, the enemy is subtle, and he's super subtle, and then all of a sudden, suddenly he all up in them. But here's the thing. I want y'all to remember this part too. You human. You make mistakes. But learn from your mistake, but don't allow the mistake to bring havoc in your relationship.
Yes.
Don't be upset and get mad about something that's nothing. Talk about it, work through it, get over it, because it was nothing. But then you learned something. If you was perfect and know it wouldn't have happened, people call you and start, like I said, it's so subtle, a little song, it's a joke at first, then all of a sudden, anything you listen, okay, even on the radio, a guy asked me one time, because we do music as well, he said, man, I want to be a hit. I said, well, the song ain't no good. And he looked at me and said, bro, but it's everything. I said, no, the song ain't no good. I said, but if you want it to be a hit and make you some money, I can tell you how to do it. He said, but you said it ain't no good. I said, simply because it ain't no good don't mean I can't make it happen for you. I said, just like clothes people buy, just because they make it don't mean you ought to put your body in it. Because it ain't made for you, but you buy it, don't you? I said, let me help you. Because anything that you get used to hearing, you start regurgitating it back up. I said, now, 7:30 in the morning, we're on the radio. 11:30 in the afternoon, you're on the radio. 3 o'clock, you're on the radio. 5 o'clock, you're on the radio. You don't come back no more till about 9. I said, now you got to hit those hours for about a week straight. Stop for 3 days and then go right back. Next thing you know, because you hear it so regularly, because first you're like, man, but you hear it so much, it's in your head. You know every word. Then all of a sudden, suddenly, you know it, and you hear everybody playing it. That's my jam. I really didn't like it, but now I'm listening to it. It's okay, because you know what? You can be the ugliest person in the world, but if I just keep looking, I get used to looking. And after a while, oh, that's just my homeboy. You don't even see ugly no more.
Exactly.
You see, same thing, same principle. I call you and sing to you, and I know you don't like it, but you happen to like this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. It starts off as a joke, so that's subtle. Then suddenly you looking for, because I'm doing it all the time, and then it's just like a baby. Take that nipple away. Now you crying because wait, I'm used to having it. I don't need it, but I'm used to having it. Now, if you leave it alone, you won't worry about it, because out of sight, out of mind, but out of your ears, what happened? Then all of a sudden you realize, you know what? I'm married and I was digging this. Wow, look what I did. I allowed this to happen. Now, don't you be all irate about nothing. They came and told you the truth. Okay, baby, that's what it is. All right, now you know we good. But it's funny, because here's the thing. It teaches you. Now we ain't even going there. Let's be professional about this thing. Why are you singing to me? And you married, I'm married. Matter of fact, why you looking me up like this? So that's telling me right off rip, you all to the left. You know what I mean? Be 100 with yourself, and everything is good. If you cross all your T's, dot all your I's, then there should be no problem. And in the event that it is, and it doesn't have no dealing with you, then you stand on that. Because I didn't do that. I'm not going to argue with you about nonsense when I know I didn't do it. I'm not even trying to please you because you the one off kilter. No, it ain't that. Just be 100. It's not being arrogant, but you know what? I'm not allowing anything to get in my receptacle that I didn't put in there. It's full of my stuff.
Exactly.
I don't need garbage. Not that garbage.
Exactly. And that's the thing that we have to understand. Marriage is not perfect and never will be. It's not perfect, but healing is available. So we hope that you will allow yourself to be healed and understand that the journey to wholeness is not a quick fix. It
Yes.
takes time. Restoration takes time, and healing takes time.
And then becomes rejuvenation,
Yes,
and that brings time.
exactly.
So let the healing begin.
We'll see you guys next time.